Welcome back to Tech Vibe, your window into tomorrow's tech. Stick around, because what we might be seeing from Apple with the next Mac Mini is something you won't want to miss. Imagine opening your mail one morning and a sleek press invite arrives. Join us in early 2026 for the next leap in Mac Mini. That's the buzz right now, with leaks and whispers hinting at something exciting on the horizon. Could Apple skip a small update and take the Mac Mini into new territory with the power of the M5 chip? That's exactly what we'll explore today. We'll look at when this little powerhouse might land, the upgrades Apple is cooking up, and the features that could redefine compact desktop performance. And trust me, if even half of these leaks are true, the next Mac Mini won't just be an incremental refresh, it could be a game changer. So when will it actually arrive? The most consistent pattern for Apple has been October releases for Mac desktops, but this time things seem a little different. Rumors suggest Apple may push the launch into early 2026, most likely around spring or at WWDC. That timing would make sense. Apple wants to give the current M4 generation more runway and make sure supply chains are ready for what's next. If that's true, then we're only a handful of months away from the official reveal. Now here's where it gets exciting. At the heart of the next Mac Mini will almost certainly be the M5 chip. This new generation is expected to bring more cores, higher efficiency, and even stronger GPU performance. The biggest leap could come from the neural engine. Apple is doubling down on on-device intelligence, and that means faster AI processing, real-time transcription, video summarization, and even local language model inference without ever needing the cloud. Just picture your Mac Mini handling massive AI workloads right on your desk, faster and more private than ever before. That's a hook worth waiting for. Performance isn't the only area getting an upgrade. The Mac Mini has always been known for its versatile connectivity, and Apple is likely to push that further. The current model already brought Thunderbolt 5, but the next step could be even faster USB-C and USB 4 standards. Imagine plugging in high-speed drives or multiple 8K displays with zero bottleneck. Networking could also get a bump, with Wi-Fi 7 almost guaranteed, lower latency Bluetooth, and potentially faster Ethernet as a default option. Memory and storage are also set for a boost. Where the current high-end Mac Mini tops out at 64 GB of unified memory, the new one could push that ceiling to 96 or even 128, with far greater bandwidth for pro workflows. Base storage may finally shift to a more realistic 512 GB or even a terabyte, paired with faster SSD controllers to cut down latency. For creators, editors, or coders, this means fewer compromises and far more breathing room. One area many users are watching closely is display support. Right now, the Mac Mini can handle multiple 6K monitors, but with the new generation, Apple may aim higher with full 8K support and higher refresh rates across the board. External displays running at 120 Hz or more could become the standard, which would finally bring desktop fluidity on par with what MacBook Pro users already enjoy. Throw in better HDR handling and variable refresh technology, and suddenly the Mac Mini starts looking less like a secondary desktop and more like a central creative hub. Another hook worth pausing on: Apple is clearly preparing the Mac Mini for heavier creative and even gaming workloads. Hardware-accelerated ray tracing is already here, but the M5 generation may take this to another level. If Apple can optimize performance and build developer support, the Mac Mini could quietly become a sleeper hit in desktop gaming, all without the size or noise of a tower PC. Imagine plugging in a compact box and enjoying console-level or better visuals with the efficiency only Apple Silicon delivers. Of course, raw power means nothing if thermals can't keep up. The Mac Mini's design has stayed fairly consistent for years, but the internal cooling system is expected to be reworked again. Expect smarter airflow, quieter fans, or even vapor chamber cooling to help sustain performance without ramping up noise. Apple won't throw away the iconic compact look, but subtle tweaks to vent placement and materials are likely. They may also expand on their environmental push with more LED components and better energy efficiency, ensuring the Mac Mini stays one of the greenest desktops available. Beyond the obvious upgrades, there are always those speculative features that keep us guessing. Some insiders have hinted at the possibility of modular expansion, snap-on accessories or external modules that add ports or functionality without needing a completely different model. While Apple has never embraced modularity for Macs in the modern era, the idea of future-proofing a Mac Mini this way would be a huge win for prosumers. Another area is HDMI. It wouldn't be surprising if the new Mini shipped with full HDMI 2.1, supporting 4K at 120 Hz or even 8K pass-through with advanced audio features like eARC. Now let's bring in another hook. For years, the Mac Mini has been the quiet workhorse, often overlooked compared to MacBook Pros or iMacs. But what if this time, the spotlight shifts? What if the Mac Mini becomes Apple's ultimate value powerhouse, the device that bridges consumers, professionals, and even gamers in one tiny box? If that's the case, the Mac Mini might finally step out from the shadows and take its place as one of the most versatile Macs ever built. Pricing is always a sensitive point. The base Mac Mini currently starts at $599, while higher-end configurations push well over $1,000. Apple will almost certainly keep the base affordable to attract entry-level users, but don't be surprised if the Pro versions command higher premiums, especially with expanded memory and storage options. Apple knows the Mac Mini appeals to both casual users and professionals, and pricing will reflect that split. So here's the big question. Should you buy the current Mac Mini now or wait for the new one? If you need a machine today, the M4 Mini is already excellent. But if you can hold out a few months, the upcoming version could give you far more headroom for future workloads, especially as AI and creative software demands keep climbing. It's the classic Apple dilemma: buy now and get great performance, or wait and get something potentially revolutionary. The takeaway is clear. Apple is lining up the Mac Mini for a major leap, not just another refresh. With M5 performance, higher memory ceilings, faster connectivity, stronger AI processing, and improved display capabilities, this little box could reshape what we expect from compact desktops. The wait may stretch into early 2026, but if you're someone who values longevity, privacy-first AI, and uncompromising performance in a small footprint, the wait might just be worth it. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. If you found this deep dive helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes looks at upcoming tech. See you soon, and until then, keep your eyes on the future with Tech Vibe.